Hello, everyone. In this video, I would like to talk about Chapter 2 in our book, The Scarlet Letter. It's called Roger Chillingworth's Secret. There are two topics I would like to talk about. The first is revenge, and the second is keeping secrets. First, let's talk about revenge. We know in Chapter 1 that Roger Chillingworth is actually Hester Prynne's husband, and he's just come into town and discovered that his wife is being punished because she's had a baby with another man. So in Chapter 2, no one knows except for Hester and Roger that he is her husband, and he pretends to be a doctor, and he goes to the prison and he brings some powder, which is medicine, to help calm Hester and her baby. And when he prepares this powder and he mixes it with water, Hester becomes afraid. She becomes afraid that this powder is actually poison. So she says on page 13, "Don't take your revenge on an innocent child." And he answers her, "Silly woman, if this poor miserable baby was my own, mine as well as yours, I would give her the same medicine." So she agrees to give the medicine to the baby. But then he also prepares some more powder and water to give to her, and again she becomes afraid. And she says, "I have thought of death. I have wished for it and even prayed for it. But if death is in this cup, then I ask you to think again before I drink it." And again he tells her, "You need not be afraid. If I wanted revenge, then what more could I ask for than to let you live and suffer under the shadow of this shame?" But it becomes clear that he does want to get revenge, and the person he wants to take revenge on is her boyfriend, the man who had fathered her child. And so on page 14, he says, "Hester, I wish you no harm, but there is a man living who has wronged us both. Who is he?" And then he says, "Believe me, Hester, I shall know him. Although he does not wear a letter of shame on his clothes, as you do, I shall read it on his heart. I shall see it in his eyes. I shall watch him tremble, and I will feel myself tremble with him." And he continues on, and he said, "Let him live. Let him pretend to be an honest man. Heaven will punish him for me, but I will know him." So we can see that he wants to punish. He wants to take revenge against this man that has wronged him. Now, the next thing I want to talk about is keeping secrets. Hester keeps two secrets in the story. The first secret is that she refuses to tell anyone who the father of her child is. Back on chapter 1, the Reverend Dimmesdale asked her to publicly identify the father of the child, and she had said on page 10, "I will not speak his name. My child must find a father in heaven. She will never know one on earth." Now in chapter number 2, Hester's husband, Roger Chillingworth, also wants to know who that man was. And he asked her for the name. And so on page 14, he says, "Hester, I wish you no harm, but there's a man living who has wronged us both. Who is he?" And she replies, "Do not ask me. You will never know his name." But then Roger Chillingworth wants her to keep his secret. Nobody knows but them that he is actually her husband. Her husband has been missing for 2 years. And so on the bottom of 14, he says, "One thing I ask you, you who were my wife, you have kept your lover's secret. Now keep mine. Tell nobody that you ever called me husband. No one in this land knows me." And so she hesitates, but she agrees. And on page 16, we can see that he tells her that she must keep his secret. And it almost comes with a threat to her that if she reveals the secret, that he will take revenge. He will follow through on his threats against the father of her child. He said to her, "Do not tell our secret to anyone, and most of all, not to your lover. Do not fail in this, Hester. Remember his good name, his position. His life will be in my hands." And at the end of the chapter, she becomes very worried, very frightened. She said, "Why do you smile at me? Have you tied me into an agreement that will destroy my soul?" And he answered, "Not your soul. No, not yours." So we see in this chapter, we set up two themes. One is what the cost of revenge will be, and second, what the cost of keeping a secret might be. So I hope that you're enjoying this book and keep on reading, and let's share it together. Bye.